Welcome to another Odds HQ NBA betting preview video. I'm Ian Cameron, and we are picking up the pieces after 0-2 last night. Hey, you had to get cooled off at some point. We did last night, unfortunately. The Raptors, wrong side. I can live with that. We weren't totally the wrong side with Toronto last night. When I'm having a little bit more trouble, what I'm struggling with a bit more to accept is losing that under. How does that happen? How do we get a 76-point fourth quarter to sink that under, and it goes over on a meaningless three-point shot at the buzzer to send the game to 222 points and go over the total? A brutal loss, but no time to look back. As I always say, it's always best to look forward, and it doesn't do you a damn bit of good in this industry to look back. You got to look forward and always focus on the next game, the next card. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. Saturday, August 8th, Saturday afternoon action. We're going to go to the game between the Utah Jazz and Denver Nuggets for today's NBA betting preview video. Denver 1.5-point favorites here, the total 221. The Utah Jazz are the latest team now in this NBA bubble in Orlando to be an injury-riddled mess. The Jazz definitely have some cluster injuries that are concerning. Yesterday, Mike Conley didn't play. Donovan Mitchell didn't play. Royce O'Neal didn't play for this Jazz team. All of them were sat out for yesterday's game. Rudy Gobert was also rested for Utah, although he is expected to be back. But Conley is a question mark. Donovan Mitchell's a question mark. And Royce O'Neal is a question mark for the Utah Jazz today against Denver. Let's keep in mind, this is already a Utah squad without Bojan Bogdanovic, who is a massive impact loss for them. The second leading scorer out for the season. So now you factor in all of these injuries plus Bogdanovic with a thin bench, cluster injuries. They don't have the quality depth, the Jazz, down their bench that some other teams do. And then you factor in the situation where they played yesterday. So this will be the second of back-to-back games for the Utah Jazz after losing 119-111 to the San Antonio Spurs yesterday. So this is a very tough scheduling spot for what could be a very shorthanded basketball team heading into this game today against Denver. So we could see a sluggish Utah team take the court today. Could there be some golden nuggets of injury news for the Denver Nuggets and some good news for a change? Potentially. Now, Michael Malone, the head coach, hasn't confirmed anything, but we do know the Denver Nuggets have been playing shorthanded. They've had to deal with most of their key players out. Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, and Will Barton are the big three that have missed multiple games so far here in Orlando. But ever since getting blown off the floor in their very first game by the Miami Heat, I got to tip my cap to this Denver Nuggets team. The fact that they have still managed to keep their heads above water, even with all the injuries, even with all the absences, and still play competitive basketball, hard-trying, hard-working team that's been in most of their games, 2-2 straight up so far in their first four games. I've been impressed, and the reason they've still been able to be competitive is because you got the big center, Nikola Jokic, who has stepped up big for Denver, and Michael Porter Jr. in particular is the guy that has been absolutely outstanding. He's filled the void. He's emerged. He's gotten an increased amount of playing time because of all the absences, and he has taken advantage of it. No question about it. And I got to admit, Denver's battled in every game, and they beat Oklahoma City in overtime. They knocked off a San Antonio team that needed that win desperately right in the game after that. And they did fall short in their last game, but they did it to this red-hot, surging, on-fire Portland Trailblazers team. No shame in that with the way Portland has played so far in Orlando. I think this is probably a better scheduling spot for Denver today. Utah in the second of back-to-back games. And for a change, Denver might actually be the healthier team than their opponent. That hasn't happened very much at all. It hasn't happened at all, really, in their previous games. They actually might be the healthier basketball team going into this afternoon affair against the Utah Jazz. So when it's all said and done here in this game, not only to me, it's Denver in the more advantageous scheduling spot here than Utah, who are battling cluster injuries, playing on the second day of back-to-back games, but the Nuggets still have plenty at stake. They're right behind the LA Clippers, who hold the number 2 seed in the West by just a game and a half. And it's not the be-all, end-all obviously, for Denver if they don't catch the Clippers for that number 2 seed, but it does mean a potentially, I don't want to say easier opponent, but maybe a more advantageous opponent for the Denver Nuggets if they get the 2nd seed. So there's still some incentive for the Denver Nuggets here going into this game. I like the fact that after they lost to Miami in that first game, they responded the right way. A very good performance defeating a sound, solid Oklahoma City Thunder team following their previous loss here in Orlando. And I expect another good response from them here this afternoon against their after their most recent loss to Portland on Thursday night. So for this video best bet and this Utah-Denver game, I'm going to lay the -120 on the Denver Nuggets on the money line. I think that's a good setup for them from a spot perspective. The price is fine. They just have to win the game in order to cash a ticket, and I think they have the good chance of doing that today. So Saturday NBA betting preview for Odds HQ, we're going to go with the Denver Nuggets on the money line, -120 against the Utah Jazz. That'll wrap it up. Thank you to everyone for tuning in, and supporting these videos. Reminder, check out odds.com every day for great sports betting content. And make sure you remain subscribed and tuned in each and every day to the Odds HQ YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good luck this Saturday with all of your NBA wagers, and I'll be back tomorrow on Sunday with another NBA betting preview video.